Hey everyone, this is Girish from Think Like Toppers. On February 14th, UPSC dropped the new notification for the Civil Services exams 2024. And here's the notification. And this is just not a piece of paper, guys. As aspirants, you need to be aware of what all the provisions provided in this notification. You have to go through it in a very detailed manner, which I'll be making your work quite easier since I'll be explaining in detail in this video. So this notification is the blueprint of how an aspirant needs to be. UPSC itself has described certain qualities it looks for in an aspirant, and we all get into it in deeper in this video. Let's get started. So let's start a detailed look at the notification now. The first is with regard to the eligibility of the candidates, that is, which is mentioned in the rules of civil services exam, which is notified by the government through the DOPT, that is Department of Personnel and Training. And if you go to this website, you will get a PDF with regard to the rules of civil services examination, which is highly recommended for every aspirant to know what the examination rules stands in detail. Second one, with regard to how to apply, the candidates are required to visit the UPSC official website, wherein you will be having a link for upsconline.nic.in. So on the right side tab at the home page of the UPSC website, you will get a tab of apply online. If you click on this tab, you will be redirected for application to the various exams. So there you will have to click on the one-time registration platform, wherein you will be having to create a profile. You will have to create a profile for yourself with all your details in that. So after creating your profile on the one-time registration platform, you can directly apply for various notifications in the future. So even if you are a new candidate for the first time and not yet registered on the OTR platform, it is first recommended for you to create this profile, and this one-time profile will be your default profile for applying for any kind of examinations in the future through UPSC website. So UPSC also allows for modification of this one-time registration profile, and it shall be allowed only once in lifetime. So please be careful while applying through this profile, or while creating this profile with all your details accurately. So UPSC allows only once. The modification to this OTR profile can be done only once. Hence, you should be very careful while creating this profile. So further, the modification to the application form. So previously, as I said, it is about the OTR profile, and now the UPSC has allowed for modification of the application. That is, the commission has also decided to extend the facility of making corrections in any fields of application form for this examination from next date of the closure of the application. So this window will remain for 7 days. That means 6th of March to 12th of March. That means the notification was released on 14th of Feb, and it is open until 5th of March. So this is the standard window for application. So after 5th of March, that is from 6th to 12th, the UPSC is allowing for making modifications in the application. That means if you have filled any kind of details wrongly with regard to the center or with regard to the optionals, or with regard to any kind of information, you can have an access for the modification up to 12th of March. Further, the candidates should have details of one photo ID card. That one photo ID card, whether it is an Aadhaar card or a voter ID or a PAN card or a passport or a driving license or any kind of photo ID card which is issued by state or central government, and this is the photo ID card which has been provided during your application of the exam, and that only that should be used for future references with the commission, and only that photo ID card should be produced in the examination hall. That means if you have provided Aadhaar card while your application to the examination, and you have to produce only Aadhaar card at your examination center up to your interview stage. So if you give your Aadhaar card during the application stage, and if you produce your voter card during the interview stage or during the prelims mains examination, that can't be accepted, since the photo ID card number will be printed along with your hall ticket, so it should be verified. So this is one of the caution that needs to be aware by the aspirants. So this is one of the area where the aspirants needs to be aware of. And last date for receipt of application, as I said, that is March 5th 2024 up to 6 p.m. So please don't wait for the last date. Please fill the applications as soon as possible, since the center allotment is based on first come first serve. Centers will be allotted based on this principle. Hence, I would request all the aspirants to fill the applications as soon as possible instead of waiting for the last date to come in a hurry. You can be prone to make mistakes while applying to the examination in that anxiety, so don't get into that headaches. Further, penalty for the wrong answers, as we all know, it is 1/3. That means for 2 marks in paper 1 of prelims, it stands out to be 0.66, and for 2.5 marks in paper 2, that is the aptitude, it stands out to be 0.833. So the next is with regard to the online question paper representation portal. So this is the new addition from this year, that is from 2024. This provision is not provided in the since the last year examinations. So this is the new provision, which is very, very exciting and which is student friendly from this year. As the parliamentary panel on the DOPT had recommended many of the reformation for the civil services recruitment, and this is one of the implementation from this year. So that is what is question paper representation portal. That means the commission has introduced a time frame of 7 days, that is a week, from the next day of the examination date to 6 p.m. of the 7th date of the fixed for the candidates to make representation to the commission on the questions asked in the papers of the examination. Such representation must be submitted only through online question paper representation portal only, which will be provided on this particular portal. That is, if you visit UPSC website, you will get access to that portal, not now, but from the very next date of the examination. So no representation by email, post or by hand will be accepted by the commission and shall not involve into any correspondence with the candidates in this regard. No representation shall be accepted under any circumstances after this 7 days window. So this particular provision says that the UPSC from 2024 has provided a special window. The UPSC is providing a special window, that is question paper representation portal, and this portal will be active after the date of examination. That means the prelims date will be on 26th of May, if I'm not wrong. 26th or 28th of May, the prelims date has been fixed. So after that date of examination, this portal becomes active. So when you receive the question paper at your center, if you find any kind of queries in the questions, you can give a representation only through this portal, that is online question paper representation portal. If you have any queries with regard to options or with regard to any kind of questions which is mentioned, if you see anything controversial in that or contradictory, so you can file objections through this portal from this year, which is very student friendly. All these years no such kind of facilities were there with regard to UPSC. The aspirants used to just go write the examination and come back, and even the key answers would be provided only after completing all the 3 stages, that is up to the interview for that particular year. So we don't know what UPSC does this year, whether it will release the key answers right after a week or 15 days after the prelims examination. So if it releases from this year, it would be a very student friendly reformation from the UPSC perspective. Further, the facilitation counter for guidance of the candidates. So this is with regard to any of the queries or inquiries if you have to take with the commission, you can just contact this number, that is between 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And as we all know, in the standard, any electrical gadgets are banned from the examination premises. So it is better not to carry any kind of mobile phones to the premises of the examination. If you carry any kind of mobile phones, please do hand it over to the concerned persons there in the centers, or keep it switched off, completely switched off, and keep it in your bags. And the examination center does not take any kind of responsibility for losing any kind of belongings to you, and you have to do it at your own risk. So if you fear for your costly gadgets, better not to take it to the examination centers. And yes, this is the new addition this year. This is one of the new provisions added this year. That means this is very exciting. Instructions in respect to uploading of the photograph while filling up the online examination. So all these years, UPSC used to mention that to upload a recent photograph, that's all. So but from this year, there is exciting changes. That means many of the candidates were in confusion that whether should I go with a beard look or a clean shave look for the interview. So UPSC has made it clear from this year, and it has made arrangements mandatory for uploading a very recent photograph this year, from this year. So let us look into that, what it is. So the photograph uploaded by the candidate should not be more than 10 days old from the start of application process, that is the application commence date. Application commenced on 14th of February 2024. That means your photograph should not be older than 4th of February. That means your photograph should be taken only onwards, only 4th onwards. Okay, not older than this date. And it is to ensure that the name of the candidate and the date on which the photograph was taken are clearly mentioned on the photograph. This is very important. All these years we used to just upload a photograph of passport size photograph simply on the website. So now the UPSC has mandated that the photograph should carry your name on that and the date of which the photograph was taken. Both the details should be mentioned on the photograph. That means you need to edit it. Okay, you have to edit the photograph by mentioning your name and your date on that. Okay, without that the candidature may stand invalid, so don't do that. So your name and date on which the photograph was taken should be clearly mentioned. So this mechanism is to ensure that the aspirants upload the recent photograph. So this is not to create any kind of ambiguity for the aspirants. No, not that. So this is to ensure that the aspirants apply a recent photograph. Further, the student's face should occupy 3/4 of the space of the photograph. This is the standard requirement. Further, the students must ensure that their appearance must match with their photograph at each stage of the examination process, that is at the time of preliminary, mains and the interview or the personality stage. That is, UPSC has explained it what it is. So if a candidate uploads a bearded photograph, he must appear with the same look for all the 3 stages. Same would be the case with the spectacles or mustaches. So for example, if you are wearing a spectacle or if you are having a beard look, and if you have taken that kind of photograph and uploaded during the application, you have to have a beard look while you're appearing to the examination. That means you cannot go on a clean shave if you have uploaded a bearded look in your photograph. So if you you can't appear with a bearded look if you have uploaded a clean shave photograph. So you can't do that. So whatever the look you have maintained in your photograph, that should be your look when you appear in person in the examination. So this is a new addition this year where the UPSC has mandated. This is the new clause second. This is the second new clause which has been added by the UPSC. Further, the candidate should reach the venue of the examination well before 30 minutes prior to the commencement of the examination. Okay, that is standard one. So next one is UPSC has mentioned all the services as per the rules of the examination. That is, we have these information are very vital for you, since you need to give options for which services you opt for while applying to the interview stage, while filling out your DAF 2. Okay, so we have 3 all India services, that is IAS, IPS and Indian Forest Services. So these 3 are the all India services. So Indian Forest Services stands a separate examination, but prelims is same. prelims is same for civil services exams and Indian forest services. So here all India services comes with IAS, Indian foreign services and Indian police services. So altogether we have 21 services, of which 3 all India services, 1 2 3 4 and 5, and we have 5 group B services and 18 group A services. So group A are Indian audit account services, Indian civil account service, corporate law service, defense account service, defense estates, information services, postal services, P&T accounts finance services, railway protection force services, Indian revenue customs, Indian revenue IT and Indian trade services, railway management services. So group B services are armed forces headquarters civil services, DANIPS and Pondicherry civil services and Pondicherry police services. So this year approximately UPSC has called for 1056 posts. So this is almost similar vacancy. We have almost similar vacancy as of 2023 itself. Even in 2023 there were 1000 plus posts vacant, and even this year 1056 posts are vacant. Of the 1056 posts, 40 vacancies are reserved for persons with benchmark disability category, and 6 vacancies are for the blindness and low vision, 12 for deaf and hard of hearing, and 9 for locomotor disability, 13 vacancies for multiple disability among the persons. Of the 40, the disabilities have laterally distributed like this. So you can read it in detail once. And further, as per the decision taken by the government for increasing access of the unemployed to the job opportunities, the commission will publicly disclose the scores of candidates obtained in the written examination and the interview. That is, after the mains and the interview, the commission has a functionary for the publication of your scores. Even if you are not recruited for the civil services, the commission UPSC with consent of the candidate may publicize the marks at its website. So this provision has been added to increase the access to jobs, even if you are not recruited for civil services examination. So this disclosure will be made respect of only those willing candidates who will appear in interview for the civil services examination and not finally recommended for the appointment. So this publication can be done only with the consent of the candidate. So candidates will be required to give their options at the time of interview or personality test while downloading e-summon letter from the commission's website for interview, and candidate may opt out of this scheme of publication of the marks, and in case his or her details will not be published by the commission. This is quite clear. So further, this is with regard to the disability criteria, if anyone has, that is persons with benchmark disability. So this is the list of services identified suitable for the persons with benchmark disability. And here's the list of centers mentioned for prelims examination, that is it is almost 80 centers are present. And for mains examination, the centers are even less, that is only 24 centers across India. And yeah, as I said, you should not delay the application. So please fill the applications as soon as possible, since the allotment of the centers will be on the first apply first allot basis. So the same will be frozen. So if, for example, say let us say Mysore in Karnataka. So if this center has a capacity of xyz number, so if this carrying capacity is filled, the candidates, even after giving this particular center as their option, they cannot be allotted this center. That means this is purely a first apply first allot basis. So please apply as soon as possible. So let us look into the plan of examination. The civil services examination consists of two successive stages, that is the preliminary examination with an objective type. So this is like a screening. Preliminary exam is like a screening test for the aspirants. So those who qualify in the prelims, they are allowed to sit for the mains examination. So when one qualifies the mains examination, at last the personality test round will be carried out. So applications are now invited for the civil services preliminary exams only. Okay, that the candidates who are declared by the commission to have qualified for admissions for civil services mains exam will have to apply again and submit a detailed application form 1 along with the scanned documents of date of birth, category, etc. And any delay in application of the DAF 1 in support beyond the prescribed date will not be allowed, and this will lead to the cancellation of the candidature for the civil services 2024. So similarly, after qualifying the mains examination, you will be having to submit a detailed application form 2 before commencement of the personality test, that is the interview stage, within the prescribed date. So coming to eligibility criteria now. So the eligibility conditions are like this. With regard to nationality, for IAS, IFS and IPS, a candidate must be a citizen of India. So here for other services, that means apart from all India services, for Group A and Group B, not only Indian citizens are eligible. So along with Indian citizens, a subject of Nepal, a subject of Bhutan, a Tibetan refugee, and a person of Indian origin from these concerned countries, that is Pakistan, Burma, Sri Lanka, Malawi, Zambia, Kenya, etc., who have the intention of permanently settling in India. So even these persons are eligible for appearing in this examination. So coming to age criteria, a candidate must have attained an age of 21 years and must not have attained age of 32 years on 1st of August 2024. So upper age limit, that is maximum 5 years relaxation for SCs STs candidates and maximum 3 years for the candidates belonging to OBC and maximum 3 years for defense services personnel and maximum 5 years for ex-servicemen including commissioned officers and up to a maximum of 5 years for ECOs and SSCOs who have completed an initial period of assignment of 5 years of military services and up to 10 years for candidates who are belonging to benchmark disability. So one of the important clauses here is the candidates belonging to either SC, ST or OBC category who are also covered under any other clauses. So those coming under the category of ex-servicemen or PWVD, they will be eligible for granting a cumulative age relaxation. That means if a candidate has a quota under ex-serviceman, so he will be belonging to SC, ST or OBC. So ex-serviceman will have how much? One second. For defense services, here we have 3 or 5 years, any of the respective classes. So consider 3 years relaxation under ex-servicemen and 5 years under SC/ST criteria. So such kind of candidates will be having altogether 8 years of age relaxation. That is beyond 32 years, such a candidate with cumulative 8 years will be eligible for up to 40 years of cumulative upper age relaxation. So this is the cumulative age relaxation. Further, the age concession under para 3 clause 2 will be admissible to ex-servicemen to a person. So these are all for the concerned candidates. And further, here we have how a candidate should also note that once a date of birth has been submitted by them in the application form entered in the records of the commission for the purpose of admission to the examination, and no changes will be allowed subsequently. So provided that in case of an inadvertent unintentional typographical error committed by the candidate in indicating the date of birth in the online application form, the candidate may make a request to the commission. So if you have unintentionally entered a wrong date of birth, you can contact the commission through this mechanism. Subsequently, rectification along with the supporting documents as mentioned in the Rule 5 Clause 3 of the examination may request the commission to consider the same. So latest by the date of civil services preliminary examination, that is 26th of May. So if you have entered a wrong date of birth within the prelims date, that is 26th of May 2024, you have to contact the commission along these particulars, that is name and year of the examination, registration ID, roll number if you have received one, name of the candidate, complete postal address mentioned in the application, a valid and active email ID. So usually the commission contacts you through this active email ID. Minimum educational qualification, that is a candidate must hold graduate degree from any of the universities, and the candidates who have appeared at qualifying examination of the passing year, that means if you are in the final year, if you are a final year candidate or if you are in a final semester, you can apply to this examination for the prelims. You can apply for prelims, but you need to be careful here. But if you clear main, if you clear the prelims, if you clear the prelims while you're filling your DAF 1 for the mains, you need to have your marks card, a valid marks card or a degree certificate by this stage of application. That is, May you will be writing the examination. By June end, the results will be out, and after 15 days in mid of July, DAF 1 will be out. By this time, you need to have a valid degree certificate or the marks card in your hands while applying to the main stage if you clear prelims. Now, even if you are appearing for the examination, even if you don't have any kind of degree certificates, you can apply for this examination in your final year itself. That is when you are 21 years old, if you are a art student. Okay. So coming to the number of attempts, which is very, very important. So number of attempts, this is not equal for everyone. So the general category students have standard 6 attempts. So this is within the age of 21 to 32 years. So a candidate from 21 to 32 years who is belonging to a general category, so he will be having nearly say 10 plus 2, that is 12 years. So in this 12 years of window, he will be having 6 attempts left in his pocket, in his or her pocket. Okay, this is with regard to general category. So this cautions to use your attempts in a very wise manner. For SC/ST student, right from 21 years onwards up to 32 years plus 5 years, that means up to 37 years in general. By default, they will be having unlimited attempts. For SC/ST students, unlimited attempts. So you can write all the years. You don't have to worry about the attempts. With regard to OBCs, they have 9 attempts. That means from 21 years to 32 years plus 3 years of age relaxation, that is up to 35 years of age. They'll be having a window of 15 years. In 15 years, OBC students can give 9 attempts. So persons with benchmark disability. So those persons who have benchmark disability and belonging to general category or EWS or OBC, these 3 category students having benchmark disabilities have 9 attempts. So if you are a SC/ST student and having a benchmark disability, it is obviously unlimited attempts. So this is with regard to the attempts, number of attempts. So you have to mention it while you're applying to the prelims. In the prelim stage itself, now if you apply, the UPSC asks whether you have appeared in the examination before or not. So you have to simply mention the number of attempts you have given in the previous terms. So you should not be bluffing with regard to that, because UPSC does not ask you to upload any kind of last year's hall ticket or application like that. It just asks for you to mention the number of attempts have appeared. So you should not be bluffing. If the UPSC finds out that you have furnished the wrong information, the candidature can be cancelled at any time. Next, the restrictions applied for the for the examination. That is, the candidate who have been already appointed to Indian Administrative Services or Indian Foreign Services. For example, if you have written this examination last year and you got selected to IAS or Indian Foreign Services, you are not allowed. You are not allowed to give further attempts. You have to accept that service and just settle down. However, if you are selected to IPS, you can give. If you are selected to IPS, you can give more attempts if you are left with. You can give one more attempt if you are left with. So, candidates who have been selected for IAS and foreign service, they are not allowed to sit for further attempts. And we have the UPSC also mentions with regard to the medical and physical standards. And with regard to the fees, SC/ST persons with disability are exempted from paying the fees. The other candidates have to pay a fees of 100 rupees, online or offline. And rest all are the same. So yeah, this is with regard to candidates who have been declared by the commission the guilty of furnishing wrong information, blackmailing, applying pressure. So they will be prone to prosecution. So none of the candidates will do that. Yeah. As last date for application, very important, that is 5th of March till 6 p.m. 5th of March till 6 p.m. That means from 14th, almost 15 plus 5, you will be having 20 days of gap. Okay, 20 days. Please fill your applications and submit it as soon as possible. And with regard to correspondence of the commission, that if you need to contact the commission, you'll be having some helpline numbers right here in the notification itself. And yes, this is the plan of examination. So this plan of examination will be discussing in the next video, since if we start discussing the plan of examination, we have to get into the syllabus and all. So this will be a lengthy video if we continue. This has already been a lengthy video, but a very useful information for you guys. Please do like, share and subscribe if you like this video. We'll see you in the next video discussing about the plan of examination, which is very exciting. So the road to become a civil servant for you all starts right from here. Okay, so please be aware, please be mindful of what to read, what not to read, and don't waste your time. So get on with your preparations. Thank you.